Drew Yorke Show, live from the ISO radio space in wonderful Toronto, Ontario. My special guest today is not only a fellow photographer, but also a fellow Roy Woods fan, a fellow, just a nice guy in general, really. Okay, Dragan, come sit down.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, no, thanks for coming through. I'm glad you could do this today.
Yeah, no problem.
I think probably the best and easiest place to start is you've been named Dragan your entire life.
Yeah.
What's that experience like? Because honestly I can't relate to something like that.
Okay, so if you know, I come from Serbia. So in Serbia, that's actually the most common boy's name. Like that's the most commonly named.
What?
Yeah, that's my dad's name too. So that's
true.
one of the most common names. But obviously here it's not common, but it's really common. Yeah, in Serbia.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Was that a funny thing for people, your friends and stuff, growing up?
Everyone thought it was cool. Like a couple people made fun of me, like the odd ones, but everyone thought it was a sick name. It was like, oh my god, your name's Dragan, because they didn't know it was A-N. It's not O-N at the end. So yeah, everyone thought it was cool.
That's so funny. I know that photography for you it's nothing that was always a passion. I know there was you had another really strong passion before.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell me about how you got into soccer? Was that a family thing? Was your family playing soccer?
Okay, so this is the best story. I'll just tell you how it all happened, how I got into photography. It's all linked. So I think when I was 16, so it was grade 11, high school, I got picked to go to Italy to play professional, semi-professional for an academy. So it was in Genoa, Italy. So I went to go play for this academy. I had to leave high school. So I had no school. I wasn't even going to get a high school diploma. I was just going to play soccer.
So you were nice.
Yeah, I was good. Yeah. Soccer was easy. It was in my blood. I just understood how to play. It was so easy. And so I went to Italy. I think it was from January to April. So towards the end of the season. And it went well. I knew this is what I was gonna do, and I was gonna focus on that. I had no idea about photography. I didn't even look at it. I wasn't that into it at all. I love seeing it on Instagram and stuff, but I guess I just haven't discovered that passion. So I came back when April ended. The season ended, so I flew back home, and I was just gonna be home for the summer. Then the plan was to go back in September and just continue. And as I came back, I was so stupid. I came back and I played for fun in a pickup game. And some guy just took out my knee. And ever since then, I could never heal my knee. I tore my ACL and a bit of my meniscus. So I tried to fix it, but it just wasn't the same. So coincidentally, that summer, one of my good friends, shout out to Tyler, I always say this, he's one of my best friends. I grew up with him in high school, and he was getting into photography. So he said, hey, you want to come out and model for me? I have to take some portfolio shots. And this was the same summer I came back. So I tore my ACL, and I had nothing. I was so bored. I had nothing to do. So I'm yeah, sure, I'll go model.
We probably couldn't do much.
Exactly. I didn't know what was next. I didn't know if I was going to go back to school or if I was going to go back to Italy. So
did you think that, at that point, was that you thought that was the next, 5 years of your life, if not more?
Soccer?
Was going to be soccer?
Yeah. I thought my dad wanted me to do it, my mom wanted me to do it, everyone around me wanted me to do that. So I thought, okay, I have to do this. This is so so he just told me to go model, and he just showed me everyone's Instagram. Look at all these photographers on Instagram. Oh, this is so cool. I love this. And eventually I'm you know what? I'm going to pick up a camera now because this is cool. I don't want to just model. I want to do what you do too. So he built up his portfolio, and we would travel to Toronto every day from Oakville. I'm from Oakville, so it's 45 minutes away. Every day for that summer, we just go to Toronto, take pictures, landscape only. I didn't even know what portraits were, which is surprising because all my pictures are portraits now. So just all landscape. And eventually he stopped doing it because he chose a different path. He had a passion for something else. I stuck with it. And I never fixed my knee. I tried again. I had a surgery for the ACL, and then I tore it again because while I was training to go back to Italy. So I decided, you know what, let's focus on photography. So went back to my last year in high school and graduated and went into digital communications, which I'm in now at Humber College. And photography's been the passion ever since.
Shout out to Humber College.
Yeah.
I went there
I
too.
always say that.
That's crazy. Like
Yeah.
did you have that like conversation like where they're like, you can't play soccer anymore? Like if you can't like pursue it, or was it more that you just knew that you're never gonna play the same level again?
No, you feel it in the knee. You feel that your knee is not the same. You just know. You're like, you know what? I'm playing with like a huge knee brace, and you just know that you're not gonna play the same way. Because I was a winger. I had speed, so my focus is cuts, and you can't cut with your knee when it's not the same. So I was always cutting and running fast, doing quick turns, and it would just give out, kept giving out, even after the surgery. So I couldn't fix it. So I just decided, you know what? Time to do something else. Time to move on with my life. But I always will love soccer. Always.
You still watch it a lot?
I don't watch it. I watch basketball.
Yeah.
I like
probably
watching soccer.
Probably from growing up here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How did you even get access to a camera? Like I know that like it's funny because like I went to Humber, so I remember having access to if you were in the right program or you knew somebody in the right program.
I've never touched equipment from my school. I don't even have a student card yet. I'm in my third year. I just don't have. That
seems like an L. How do you not have a student card?
I can't take out anything from the library. I can't like rent any equipment. I just never got to taking that photo. So I've just been going through school with like just naturally. I just go to class and go home.
Potentially one of the most booked photographers going to Humber right now, and you don't even have like a photo of yourself on a card.
It's funny, but yeah. How I get my equipment? One of my other good friends from Oakville, his name's Stefan. He's not into photography at all. He just had a camera lying around at his house, and I was telling him I'm getting into photography. He said, just take this. So he luckily just gave me a Canon point and shoot. It was actually a good camera, and that's how I started out until eventually saved up my own money. Then I went Nikon, didn't like it, switched to Canon, and I've been with Canon ever since. Yeah. So yeah, but I don't know, Nikon's cool. I felt like Canon was the best choice for me.
How did you? There must have been a point where you knew that it was getting good, because I know you probably like just went around the city just taking shots of buildings, shots of like whatever.
Yeah.
Did you ever do any like rooftoping stuff?
No, I wasn't big on that.
I'll never do that in my life.
I wasn't.
Count me out.
I saw it was cool. A lot of people are doing cool stuff. I couldn't get into it. Yeah.
What was it? Yeah. What was it you were shooting around that time?
Cityscapes. So just like symmetry. I always love symmetrical stuff. So if it's like, and you'll notice that a lot in my work now.
I see that in your work now.
Yeah, I always want to put the subject in the middle. And even back then, I wanted a subject in the middle. So if I'm taking a picture of a street, I want the street in the middle. But now, since I'm doing like taking pictures of people, I always want the person in the middle. I just feel like that's the most attractive way of taking a photo. Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's probably watching this now would know you from your work with like the wide variety of artists.
Yeah.
What was the first opportunity you got to work with like any musician?
The first opportunity.
And how long ago was that, do you think?
So I started halfway in my first year, so I'd say the year after that, I started getting into the music photography thing. So the first people who believed in me and just would want to work with me come down. So Castro and Fiji, they always wanted to work with me since the beginning. So I think around the time I started taking photos was when Atlanta 1 was coming out. So we'd eventually meet up, do photo shoots, and then that's when we just started like creatively building. Like I've done all the album covers, so that's when we did Atlanta 1, and yeah, I'd say they're the first ones that I started working with in the city.
Yeah, I think I remember that was like that summer, like when that We Are Not came out, and then it was like after that was when they started like really popping.
Yeah.
I remember Jazz Cartier brought them out at the Danforth Music Hall.
Yeah.
When he opened for
I wasn't
Ray
there,
Shremmerd.
but yeah, they came out and did that song.
I remember every single person knew the words to that song.
Yeah,
they probably didn't even know what the song
songs.
was or who performed it, but they knew every single word because they'd heard it everywhere. Every DJ was playing it. It was like the hottest thing at the summer. That was crazy.
Yeah. It's a legendary song.
How do you transition from shooting just like pictures of them to like them even trusting you enough to like be like, hey, I really want to shoot like your album cover. Like, I know I'm usually just taking like photos of you like chilling or like.
Yeah. I think it was one day me and Castro were driving, and I'm like, and we were talking about. He's like, "Oh, I was working on an album," and I'm like, "Oh, like, do you have any visuals?" I just thought,
It's
what,
kind of like
let's do it, and then
sneak that in there.
yeah, and then he's like, "No, like, do you have any ideas?" And then we thought of the idea, and the funny thing is, for that album cover, me and my older brother did it. Mahilo, he's a graphic designer, so the album was called Atlanta. So obviously, you want to mix Atlanta with Canada, and we thought of we went to a studio. The original plan was like a standing up cover. So we scratched that last minute, the cover of them sitting down. And we decided, let's put the flags on the back of the chairs and then have them looking out a window. And then we mixed Atlanta with Toronto, and it just ended up looking cool. I thought it was it's one of my favorite
That's
covers.
one of my favorite.
Classic, yeah.
Like you say, the range of covers you've done now. That was like one of the cool, interesting concepts. That
I like that.
Now at the time, now it seems obvious.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
at the time, I remember people being like, "Oh, like these guys are like serious artists."
Exactly.
Like this is like a real album. It's not just like a bunch of YouTube videos or like singles or like like these guys are like serious artists.
Exactly. Yeah. Love those guys.
How did that continue from like Come Down? Is that how you sort of got connected with a bunch of other people? Was it through people that they knew, or was it people seeing the work? Do you think?
I feel like I don't think I like what's it called? Anyone helped me establish all the connections I got. I think it was me basically messaging people, and I listened to these people. So whether it was Derek Wise, 88 Camino, Come Down, Lamb Littles, I always wanted to work with these people because I genuinely was a fan of them and I listened to them. So I'd even reach out to them, say, "Hey, you want to do a photo shoot?" And sometimes I got lucky and they said yeah. Sometimes they'd come to me. And then I feel like I established those connections by myself, to be honest, because I was hungry at the time. I wanted to work with everyone. That some people, like back in the day, not a lot of people in the city knew who these people were. They were very underground. Obviously now they're all big and doing their thing, but like I feel like I was a huge fan even when they were just starting out and when I was just starting out.
Yeah,
so,
you just knew them from SoundCloud.
Exactly. Like I heard 88 Camino, You're Not My Man's, that song, and I love that song. I showed everyone in Oakville.
I remember that from like hearing out with SoundCloud or something.
Yeah.
I think it got on like the Fader, and that's probably why I saw it.
And then I wanted to work with them, and we just connected, and we did a bunch of photo shoots, and I established those connections early on. So, yeah.
It must have that must have been in like the confidence boost that like you were sort of getting like not like it was like respect.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's one thing to be a fan of an artist, but when you're really into the music and you like really respect the artistry, and then there's like as I know from being a photographer and like shooting musicians and like that was like a really big confidence boost for me for sure, like in trying to continue to pursue things and try new things and try to work with new artists and bigger artists and bigger opportunities. And
everyone pushes each other, so when you're building with these guys, like you see them doing good and you want to do good, and like coming up together. That's what I love about this city. We're so collaborative. We collaborate and we help each other build and grow. And definitely working with a lot of those guys that helped me get confidence and push myself even further. So yeah.
Do you remember the first time you got paid?
First time I got paid. Honestly, I remember getting paid back in the day. To do some shoots, but I don't know. Like, I don't remember from who was the first person, but I didn't know anything about finance or budgets or anything. I was in it for the passion. I still am. Like that's what art is about. Art is not. It's not all about money. Life's not all about money. Like money comes when you succeed and start doing the thing, and you show people that you're authentic and genuine. You can't just be hungry for the money because you won't succeed. Even like a lot of people say, a lot of motivators like Gary Vee. I listen to Gary Vaynerchuk a lot on YouTube, and he even says it's not all about money. So it's about happiness too.
How do you balance that side then? Because obviously you want to you obviously want to shoot for everybody you can.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that I have that feeling too, that sometimes it's like when it comes down to it, if there's no money, like sometimes I'll still do it after, if there's like, it's like part of you feels like you shouldn't, but part of you knows that it's like somebody else is going to do this.
Yeah.
And it's that weird atmosphere, not atmosphere, like ecosystem that like people say like you'd be like devaluing your own work and other people's work if you do it for free. But it's like, but somebody else is going to then do it for free if you don't.
Yeah. I always think back to like now if a free opportunity comes, if I like it, I'll take it. Because back to my original point, it's not all about money. And exactly, someone else is going to take that. And someone else who was in your position back in the day, like someone else who was up and coming and was hungry just like you were, will obviously do it for free because it's going to get them those paid gigs. So sometimes, yeah, unpaid gigs are cool too. So just, yeah, every opportunity is good. Well, like you just got to see where it takes you. Sometimes it'll turn out bad, but it'll teach you a lesson. So yeah, it's good to take a lot of opportunities as you can.
Let's do some like talking about general more photography stuff. So like for people that are watching that might be like just getting into it or trying to build their portfolio.
Okay.
When someone comes to you, let's say it's like a brand or it's a record label or it's like something that you know is like some sort of like strength behind it, like some prestige. You know, like there's like some machine. It's not just like an independent.
Okay.
How do you go about? Let's say they pitch you an idea. How do you go about, setting a price, laying out options? Like, how do you know what to tell them?
Okay, so
because I'm sure that like I know that like when the first time that happened, that opportunity came up, I'm sure I didn't do it correctly. I'm sure I pitched it improperly or said something like way undervalued myself. Or,
well,
I don't know.
It's all about learning lessons, just like you said. Like you didn't know what to do. Even the first time, I didn't know what to do. But I have this discussion with a lot of people over the DM because a lot of creatives come to me over the DM and say, "Hey, like or they're getting a gig and they want advice. Like, hey, like this company messaged me. Like, what do I do? Or what do I do if a company messaged me?" And what I say all the time is, so if a company's coming to you, it's a company. They make money, so they essentially want to work with you. They don't want to like do something for free. They're professional. If a label comes to you, they're coming to you for the work. So obviously a budget is going to be involved. Like I can't speak for everyone. I don't know what everyone's budget is. Like obviously I'm not going to share what mine is. Like everyone has a different budget, but if you know your budget and you believe that you're worth that much, pitch it to them. And if they don't believe that you're worth it, go to the next one. Because they're not worth your time if they don't think that you're worth your budget. But obviously be reasonable. Like, don't be like, $1 million or something like that. But like, if you know your budget and they don't believe you, then find a next one. Don't wait for the next company to come to you. Start messaging companies. If your dream is to be a photographer and you just want to work with companies and get money and get paid, then start messaging people. You can't just wait on Instagram and social media for the company to message you. Like, say you want to work with Pepsi or Coca-Cola, and you just say, "Oh, I wish I could." Go message them. Go email them. What if they email you back and say, "Hey, yeah, we need a photographer in Toronto for a Canadian campaign. Can you come do it?" You never know what can happen. Take that chance.
I was gonna say I've sent messages and gotten the exact same, like what you just said, like that response.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing I tell people is that, especially when it comes to big companies having social media, somebody, like a person is running that. That's a person behind it. It's not like just a big company. It's not like this big, massive, like inaccessible thing.
Exactly.
It's a person that's probably running the social media. That's probably hired to go through the comments and go through the DMs and go through the DM requests. Whatever. And it's like I had a message that I sent to Live Cannabis. It's like a cannabis brand out in Niagara.
Okay.
And when I first started the show, before legalization, before the show was even like picked up, I don't think I had any episodes yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm starting the show. I want to like collaborate or something. I want to do something cool, because I had no leverage.
Yeah.
Just like anything cool. Never heard back.
Okay.
Never anything. Like no response. Like 2 days ago, I got a response.
Exactly. You never.
And
know
then there's like,
but
now I have like 5 episodes up, like 6 episodes up. There's like a little bit more leverage, and now they want to like bring us out to like do a show there.
There you go. Because you message them. It's a chain reaction. You take that chance. If you never took that chance, they would have never messaged you. Or maybe one, but the chance would have been obviously lower. But yeah. See what I mean?
Definitely one of like the biggest opportunities that I've seen like you take and like execute was the Drake and Three Migos tour.
Yeah, that was life changing. That was the best, because as a photographer, to just be going city to city and doing what you love every day, that's what you can't ask for anything more than that. Like once that happened, I forgot. Like I just school. I wasn't even focused on school. I knew this is my dream. I got to focus on this, and it was amazing. like, yeah, I'll never forget that experience. It was amazing.
You must have been because I remember it got announced, and then like a little while after, then Roy Woods got added onto it.
Yeah,
Was that like news that came later? So you like did you see the announcement and then find out later that you were going to be going, or was that like already sort of?
I don't even
in the
remember
process?
the tour being announced, to be honest. I didn't pay attention a lot. I just knew Drake was going on tour, and then they said they needed a photographer, like Roy's team, and I just ended up going with them. I don't know when they found out. Like, I don't know all the behind the scenes stuff, but yeah, we all went together on the first day, and the first day was Detroit, and it was amazing. Like, each show is like, people ask me, they're like, oh, did you ever get bored of shooting the same show? No, because it's like a movie every night. You don't know who's coming out. You don't know,
especially a Drake too.
Yeah.
It's like
his set was amazing. Like, even Roy Woods, like, if you see him live, his performance is amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, I watched him grow from the first date to how like much his live kept improving, and he's just amazing now. Like, I can't wait for his next tour to just see how even more amazing it is.
I agree. I think that's when I definitely noticed was the tour he had done before. I remember it because I was in Calgary.
Yeah, the Say Less tour. Right?
That one, when it came out to Calgary, I remember like just being blown away.
He's
like
amazing.
Not only from just the stage presence and like the interacting with the crowd, but he like did the weird thing where he goes around the whole crowd. And, like literally almost like the whole balcony, it was like maybe like 1,000 people up in the balcony, and he went around the whole thing and like talked to, like not talked, but like it was like touching all these people.
The thing
and
that
the standing on like I remember in Ottawa, he like stood on a bar and was like walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, just
his
like touching
stage
people.
presence
It's
is
such a cool thing to watch because it's like people love him.
Yeah, the thing about him though is he's so special because his music's good, but he's such a good person too. Like, when you talk to him, he's so funny, he's so nice. Like, he's just so humble. So that's why being on that tour just made it 10 times better with him, because every day you're just comfortable working with him and creating with him. And I feel like everyone in this industry needs to be like that, because that's how you get the best work done. When each person's comfortable and just nice. You don't act big. You just act humble. You be yourself, So it's cool.
Is there anything you particularly recall from that tour? Because I mean, there must have been like tons of different like crazy quick experiences where it was like just quick in passing of seeing something, or like witnessing special guests come out and like whatever. Does anything like really sticks out for you that you really felt like special moment for you during that time?
Yeah, the most special moment was when Jake posted my picture I took with an iPhone, because it was the first picture I took. On the show, I came to the stage. It was the first date in Detroit, and I landed the same day the show was going on. So landed at the airport, went straight to the venue, and checked into the hotel, went to the venue, and I wasn't what's it called? I didn't have my camera out for his set, so I just pulled out my phone, took a picture from the crowd, posted it, went to bed. Then I woke up and found out he posted. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, on an iPhone too. It just shows you the equipment doesn't matter. You can get a great photo and people will appreciate it on even an iPhone. So it was a cool moment. Because it's cool because not because Drake posted, because such a established person in the industry appreciates your work, and it makes you feel good. Like that, people always say, "Oh, you just want to get really posted." Like, I see a lot of like beef on Instagram. Like, you just want to get really not by me, to me. Like, I just see people fighting like, "Oh, you just want clout or fame to get posted by famous people." But there's so much more than that. It's like these people are appreciating the work and really posting it. So yeah, you want to be happy. You're not gonna act like sour about it and be like, "Oh, I'm in it for the fame." No, when a big person respects you like that and takes the time to post your image, it means a lot. It's special.
Yeah, and especially artists that when you like follow them and already know like their social media, and you like know that they do it themselves. Like, especially somebody like Drake, those captions are him. It can't be anybody else. You know. So it's like that he's going like, wow, like I love that photo.
Yeah. I love that guy. I love his music. Like, I'm a huge fan of him. So yeah.
What was your favorite special guest that you saw on that tour?
Travis Scott. But no doubt.
Yeah.
Sicko Mode live, you need to experience that one day in your life. Like, I saw it live in LA, Staples Center. Toronto and Inglewood, the Forum. So I saw it a lot of times. I never got sick of it. Each time was like a different movie. It was his stage performance is another. It's a whole other ball game. Like Travis Scott, amazing. He's one of my favorite artists too. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there one artist that you have yet to photograph that it's gonna happen in the next year? Like that's like one definitely gonna come.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but one artist I want to work with definitely ASAP Rocky, because I was a big fan of him in high school, and he's like I like his look. Like I want to photograph. Like I feel like he'd be amazing.
He'd want to work with you on it.
Yeah, be cool.
Because
Yeah,
he's
definitely
very
him.
particular about his
Exactly.
not the most particular about
Yeah.
his visuals and the way he looks and the way he dresses and the way he
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. I think the best way, or the way I usually end off these things, is to give people like 2 really, really good food spots.
Okay.
Maybe one from Oakville, like one home, and then one out here.
Okay, my favorite place in Toronto is 7 West. It's a 24-hour cafe in not Yorkville, but Bloor Street and Charles Street, I think.
A 24-hour
It's
cafe.
close there. It's 24 hours. You get the best food, like pizza, mac and cheese, pasta, anything you want. It's cool. It's like a high-end restaurant, 24 hours. It's cool. It's one of my favorite spots. In Oakville, I don't know. I eat in Toronto mostly. I'm not big on. Oakville has good spots though. It's a cool place. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, what about one from here then?
Yeah.
Another one.
Oh, another
From
one.
here, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
Okay,
big.
you can get back to me.
Yeah, exactly. That's just my top. I always go to that place. Oh, one place, Marché. It's close to the ACC. It's like a buffet.
about it,
You
yeah.
go pick your food and you pay at the end, and it has foods from different parts of the world. So that's my second favorite spot. So yeah.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay. This has been the Drew Yorke Show. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Till next time. That's it, man.
I thought it was gonna be longer. It was good though.